Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody, it's MsTonya. How are you doing? It's Thursday. Yeah, it's Think About It Thursday. It's the Noontime My Time podcast. And we are here to do a little bit of thinking here today. This is episode 72. Yeah, guys, 72. All right? I don't have an admission for you here today. I don't have an admission, but you do have a little dress code I want to go by. We got a dress code today. You're going to need to be wearing your thinking cap. Put on your thinking cap, all right? Y'all come on in here. Take your time and come on in. Take your time. Get on those keys. Get on your keyboard and let me know where you are from. Let me know. I do want to know. You know where I'm from. You know where I'm at least. I'm right here in the Carolinas. Carolina girl, Carolina girl. And you know who I got in here who's always up in the house? Who always coming up in the house? Yeah, Miss Tori. Keep the faith with Tori. She is in D-Town. D-Town is in the building and she is letting you know. Look at her comment here. She says, I'm here. Also gave us a big whoop whoop. Episode 72. You know, I feel that whoop whoop. I feel it. I'm here for it. All right. What we going to be talking about today? Because people, y'all let me know what you want to talk about. And I'm here for it. I'm digging it. I love it. I love it so much. Y'all want to talk a little bit more about this AI, this artificial intelligence, all right? Because the future is now. The future is right now. And all of these technologies are emerging. They are. And it's transforming our world. So we got some things we got to talk about. How do you guys feel about artificial intelligence? You're sending me videos. You're sending me clips. You're telling me some of the things that you're thinking about. So I'm like, okay. I'm going to get back on the topic. So we're gonna discuss like some of the risks, but we got to discuss the opportunities as well. How is technology changing our life, our lifestyles, our job markets? All of those things are on your mind. They are, and I understand why that you have this on your mind. I do. I'm not thinking it's all good. I'm not, because I know that all people aren't good, and that's unfortunate. But before we get into the conversation, you know what we got to do, guys. You know what we have to do. We got to do a little bit of breath work. We got to breathe a little bit. We got to shake off some of that funk that has gotten on us maybe at some point today. We got to get it off. We got to recenter. We got to reclaim our time, recalibrate. All right, how we going to do that? We going to breathe. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little breath work. What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. I don't want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't that feel great? It feels real good. You know you feel good when you take that little bit of time for yourself. That's one of the best things that you can do. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make ourselves better. And we can do that when we decide to have conversations. Check it out, guys. It's Think About It Thursday. We've got a lot to think about. We do. We're going to be talking about the rapid changes of technology in our world right now. There are a whole lot of emerging technologies, and it's shaping the way we live. It is. I want you to take a little bit of time to think about it. I want you to figure out how it's changing your life. We got to do that. In this podcast today, we're going to chat about some of those things. I want us to explore some of your thoughts. We need to have this conversation about these technologies, talk about how it's shaping our future. That's what we're here to do. Talking about AI, artificial intelligence. What are the risks? What are some of the opportunities? How is this technology changing the job market? Come on in here, good people. Come in here and let me know where you're from. Buckle your seatbelt. But most importantly, make sure that you have your thinking cap on. Because it's Think About It Thursday. And we need to be thinking about this stuff. We do. All right, so let me tell everybody hello. How you doing, good people? I just want you to know that I am thrilled to be here with you today. I'm thrilled to have you here on my podcast, the Noontime My Time podcast. Think About It Thursday. Today we're going to dive into the fascinating discussion of emerging technology. You know who I am. I'm MsTonya. And as a podcaster, I'm here to curate conversations. And we've got a lot of things that we need to be talking about. Lots of things to talk about. And we've got many more things for us to think about. We got to give some thought to it. So let me just say this. I like AI. I like some of it. And we've been dealing with some forms of AI already. And I just feel like some of the newer things that are coming out are making us a little nervous. And I understand that too. I do. So that's why I want to talk a little bit more about it here with you. Let's talk about it. Let's explore it. But there's power in this technology. And it's impacting our lives in some good ways. And there's always going to be some bad characters. So I want you guys to let me know what you're thinking about that. But I'm always ready to engage in thoughtful and mindful conversation, thought-provoking topics. We got to do that and share some of our insights. That's what it's about. That's what this platform is about. I want you to know that your voice matters. I believe in the power of collective wisdom and the diverse perspective that each of us bring. You know, we all bring something to the table. So I want us to dive into this conversation today on AI and emerging technologies. And I encourage you to actively participate and share your thoughts, share your ideas, and share some of your experiences. Because there's been ways that AI and new emerging technologies have been slowly creeping into our lives. And if we think about it, we really could see this thing coming. But let's think about some of the artificial intelligence that some of you already like and that is already ingrained in our daily life. Think about maps and navigation. AI has drastically improved how we travel. Everybody's using navigation now. I got to be honest. Even in my own hometown, I'm navigating going to places. If I didn't navigate, I wouldn't know how to get to some of these places. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing. It isn't. But we've been doing it, and I know that I'm not the only one. So think about how you like that part of artificial intelligence. There was a time when we had maps out. And some of y'all know you can't read a map. You know you couldn't read a map. It didn't even make sense for you to have a map. I also remember when we used to go to MapQuest. And we put in where we wanted to go, and we print out all of the driving directions. You had it on a piece of paper. But now, you just get it on your phone. You might have it as a part of your car system. So maps and navigation, you're using that form of AI, and that's a good one. I know you guys are using it. And then think about facial detection and recognition. A lot of us are using that technology on our phones. Our phones are locked, and when we put our phone up, boom, it recognizes us. You like that, don't you? I'm sure that you do. I'm sure that you really do, because you don't want anybody just picking up your phone and they can just go into your phone, because you know you might have some things in there that they don't need to see. You do. And that could be a whole lot of things. I don't know what that is. That's a totally different conversation. Dig it? Right? I see Miss Tori here. She said, I print all them pages on MapQuest. I did too. I print out some pages. Let me tell you something. I used to use it. But see, we don't have to do that anymore. AI helped us out with that. You using the navigation now. We're using the face detection. Also, think about the text editors, autocorrect. You didn't even know that you were using AI, because see, now we've got different forms of AI that's scaring us. So it sounds like a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm not for the AI. Oh yes, you are. Because text editors and autocorrect, you've been using that a long time. You use that on your phone. Some people can't even spell, but it's okay. It's okay. You got autocorrect. Text what you want. Sometimes it texts some things that you don't want it to text, but it's there. Y'all do it. I know you do. He the Faithful Tory said, yeah, I got some things in my phone. I got a password on my phone. Well, let me tell you something. I got a password. I got some things locked up in other places that you can't get in, even if you're in the phone. I got passwords on that. So dig it. I understand. But y'all see, we've been using technology out here. We really have been. We have. Think about this. All of these self-driving, well, not all of these, but they've got self-driving cars, chat bots. We got smart assistants now. There's a whole lot of artificial intelligence that we have been using. And now that ChatGPT is out, and there's a whole lot of other artificial intelligence that is out here, and it's scaring people. It's getting scary now. So within this conversation, I want us to think about some key points, some key things that I want us to discuss. So think about this. Let's talk about the technological advances. Let's talk about the latest developments, what's emerging now. Let's talk about the impact and the different aspects of how it's impacting our lives. How are these advances shaping your personal experiences? What opportunities and challenges do you see with these evolving technologies? Let's think about the ethical things that could be going on and can happen with the advancement of these technologies, right? Because the integration of technology raises important ethical questions. We need to be thinking about that. What are your thoughts on issues such as privacy, bias, and accountability in context of artificial intelligence and a lot of these other emerging technologies? How can we ensure responsibility? And how can we ensure, or can we ensure, ethical use of these technologies? Have you thought about that? I think that's one of the main things as it relates to writers and artists, and particularly visual artists, because a lot of their works are being ripped off in some ways that I don't know how they're going to fix this. I really don't know, but we can talk about that. And let's think about how the workforce is being transformed. A little bit we've seen it because we know that we do a lot of self-checkout already. Automation and AI-driven technologies are reshaping our workforce. Have you witnessed this? Has it affected your job or where you work, or do you see it very quickly approaching to affect your job and what you do? How do you think AI is going to affect your job, your position? And what strategies do you believe are necessary for you to adapt? How can you evolve? How can you ensure like a smooth transition for yourself? Or have you thought about that yet? Have you? I see Keep the Faithful Tory says, let me put this up here. She says, I don't trust those self-driving cars. Me either. Listen, I don't trust the self-driving cars. I don't even, I got some old school cars. I really do. I like what I drive, and they still kind of old school. So I'm not quite there yet. And I'm not so sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I love the technology. I like it. I'm not going to say that I don't. I think the larger issues for me would kind of be more so in the ethical aspects of it. That's the part that a lot of people seem to have the most concern, and I do understand why. I really do. Now, what are some of the social impacts you think AI and this emerging technology is having? What do you think? How is this transforming our society? How do you see these technologies contributing in different ways? Because it's in our life already. How do you feel it will contribute to healthcare, or what have you heard about it? Or in the education system? What role do you believe individuals play? Each of us. What do you think? Those are some of the things that we really got to think about. I see we got Les Eccles in the building here with us. Good to have you here, man. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Les says, I am a big technology fan, but I always look sideways when people say, I'm not putting my information in cyberspace. I'm sorry, I got to laugh before I even finish reading this, because that's funny to me already. Let me just start over. Les says, I'm a big technology fan, but I always look sideways when people say I'm not putting my information in cyberspace. Look, privacy is not a thing anymore. I can Google someone and all their personal info comes up. Age, address, family names. You can even see someone's whole house address. But I guess we got to take the bad with the good. You're right, man. That's right. You don't even have to hire private detectives anymore. You can just get online and find out what you need to find out, and navigate how you need to navigate. Now, you might need to be careful. Because I don't know what's going to happen when you show up at someone's place like that. But you're right. People say it all the time. And some years, I mean, not in very recent years, but years and years ago, I kind of thought about that. I was like, wow, all of our information is going to be online. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I like that. But after a while, I realized, like, it doesn't matter how I feel about it, because it's out there. There's no turning back. If you're walking around with a cell phone, you have to know that you're being tracked. Big Brother is with you. If you don't think that you can be tracked down any moment, every moment, you are wrong. You're wrong. That's part of the technology. So there's questions that we need to ask ourselves. Let me ask you guys this. How do you see this technology, particularly AI and ChatGPT? What are some of the things that you fear right now? Because there was that time when we felt like we didn't want to put our information into cyberspace. Les is right. But we're far beyond that now. What are your fears now? What are your fears now? Think about that and put that in. And if you have those fears, I want us to talk about them, but I also want to know at some point, what excites you about AI? Does anything excite you about it? Where do you think we will be? We know where we are right now, but have you thought about where we will be in the next decade? Have you thought about that? So let me know. What are some of those things that you fear right now? Tell me why you have certain fears and reservations about AI. I'm here to listen, and I'm here for you guys to participate with each other. Let's have this conversation. Let's have it. Because we've been using AI for a long time now. We really have. Like I said, with maps and navigation, face detection and recognition, text editors, autocorrect, all of that is AI. Social media marketing, e-payments, okay? All of that stuff is a part of AI and a part of that technology. Like when you go in and automate it, when you're filling out forms and these different things online. Marketing chatbots. Right up under our nose, it's been happening. right up under our nose. You guys know it. So let's think about it. And there might be some people on here because there's a diverse age range that come in here, that come into this space. And I kind of dig that. I like it. But let's think about it. Let's ask this question. What is AI? I looked it up. I wanted to know like what a general definition was. So, I looked a few different places and this is a definition here of an AI tool. An AI tool is a software application that uses artificial intelligence algorithms to perform specific tasks and solve problems. AI tools can be used in a variety of industries, from healthcare and finance to marketing and education to automated tasks, analyzing data, and improved decision making. That's what came up, guys. Now, I don't know what that improved decision making part means. I don't know. I didn't make this up. I'm just reporting what I read. So I don't know. But that is what's here. And artificial intelligence is a game changer across multiple domains. You see it everywhere. Machine learning algorithms. I'm knocking things over here, guys, on my desk. But machine learning algorithms enable computers to learn from data and make predictions or decisions without explicit programming. I think that's the part that kind of scares people a little bit because you don't really understand how that works. And might not understand exactly what that means. AI-powered systems are being used in healthcare for disease diagnosis, drug discovery, and personalized medicine. It's being used in transportation. We talked about the self-driving cars. That's really becoming a reality. At first, we had the technology where it could let you know when you're a little bit too close and it'll take you back, move you out of the way if you were merging and getting too close to another vehicle or close to something. We see it with these particular cars that are doing the parallel parking. That's artificial intelligence. It's being used to enhance safety in the driving world and reduce congestion in traffic. That's what I hear is coming up. Now, how that's going to happen, I don't know. We got to see. AI is also transforming finance, retail, and manufacturing. It's optimizing their operations. It's supposed to be enabling them with better customer service experiences. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. I don't know because we gotta, for me, good customer service experiences has a lot to do with people. So I want that. I miss that and you guys know we hate this most. This is one of the technologies that we don't like when we get that automated operator when we're making calls or trying to get customer service. We don't like that. We want to talk to a person. We want to get straight to a person. So it has its positives. It has its negatives. There's things we like about it. There's things we don't like about it. But I want you guys to tell me, what are some of your concerns? Like, what concerns you? Put some of those things in the chat. Let's talk about it. I see we got Genesis here. How you doing, Genesis? She says, I'm a fan of crypto, Web3, etc. It's where and what the world is moving to, not just America. Invest in crypto. Yeah. Listen, that's a part of it as well. Let's talk about it. The blockchain. That's what she's talking about. Like, blockchain technology really introduced those cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And a lot of people have moved and a lot of people are getting into digital currencies. It is a decentralization of money. It's a distributed ledger. It's a lot to kind of explain. I'm not like an expert on it. I just really have a general knowledge of blockchain. But I do understand that blockchain does have the potential to revolutionize a whole lot of things, and particularly when it comes to money, because it makes It makes it becomes decentralized, you know. But I also have an understanding that it will allow and simplify tracking of verified goods from origin to the destination. It's supposed to be able to enhance cybersecurity. So that to me seems like something that could be good, because I don't know, with everything being online and everything in these systems, that's a little scary. That scares me. That's something that I think about. So if the blockchain can help that, if it can really help in the cyberspace world in terms of being able to track things from origin to destination, that gives me a little bit of that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good if there's a record of transactions. So I feel like that could really reduce some data breaches, because we know exactly where things have come from. We can see it. It's right there in the blockchain. I don't know a whole lot of ins and outs. I'll have to do a bit of research, and maybe I can get some people who definitely have a lot more experience in it and get them on here and let them talk about it. I'll have to read up on a few things, but yeah, people definitely are into the different cryptocurrencies. I see Genesis says, yes, it's assets. I hear you. I hear you. It's something that I've got to learn more about. I just don't know. I have a very basic and general knowledge. I see Mary Fonda Hines here. How you doing? Good to have you in the conversation with us here today. She said, young and old need to educate themselves because this is biblical. The Bible speaks of us being controlled by a number. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, you took it a whole other place. You really did. You took that somewhere. But I can't say that you're wrong. People have their beliefs. You have your belief. Mary also goes to say, we can barely use cash now. And you're right. We can barely use cash now, which is frustrating. I don't understand how we can be in America and it's so difficult to use the US dollar. Like, what kind of sense does that make? They want everything digital. They want you to swipe a card. Everything. They want to keep your money. If you have cash, Mary has a point here. We can barely use cash. There's few places where you can go and they will accept cash. I don't understand it. I never thought I would see the day that we would actually be in America and they'd be like, oh, we don't take cash. What in the world and what am I hearing? Outrageous. Totally outrageous. And then there's another part of this artificial intelligence, like the VR and AR, virtual and augmented reality. That's a whole thing. So we've got virtual reality, which emerges people into a computer-generated environment. People actually put on headsets and they immerse themselves into a computer-generated environment. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know. That's a little deep. Video games was one thing, but to actually be immersed into a whole environment where it goes beyond the video games, where people are living quote unquote virtual social lives, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Some things are cool, but I don't know about that one. It got to grow on me because I know we're going there. There's no turning back. We're going there. But my only hope is that people are going to, and particularly young people, they're going to really have to know and understand the difference of navigating inside a virtual world and being in the real world. You know, how you're dealing with people in a virtual world and how you're dealing with people outside of that, like real human connection. This thing, listen, this can go far. This can go far and it gets really, really deep. It's going to depend on what you believe beyond the technology. With the technology, with what you believe about science, with what you believe spiritually. It's changing a whole lot of, it really is. This conversation that we're having today is an extension of a conversation that we've had before. And I already see it, this particular conversation continuing. We could continue to have this conversation because day by day, every single day, something is changing. It really is. I see Genesis here. She says the U.S. dollar has lost its value in most countries. They don't accept U.S. currency. They open now, which lessens the value because they have introduced Bitcoin and crypto payment for taxes, for tax bills, etc. Yeah, I saw that coming. I gotta say, I saw that coming. I see Voodoo here. He says, I went to the strip club and tipped the robot $20. Oh my goodness. And if you tipped the robot, I don't know how you gave that tip, but I don't know if it was cash. Was it cash or did you swipe? We got Carolina Raw here in the building. How you doing? It's very scary and beautiful. I use it to help me write a script. Wow. Yeah. I hear you, man. When it comes to writing, anything that you want to do creative, you can almost use AI and like some of these chat GPT type of AI tools. You can really use them as assistants. You really can. I don't know so much that a lot of people feel a particular way about that. And I've heard some people say, well, it's going to take jobs away from writers. And I don't know so much that it will do that because you have to prompt it. You still have to be intelligent. You still have to do the writing. You've got to get in there and you've got to make it make sense. To me, it seems to be a tool. So we're still going to have people who are going to know how to use it. And then that might be new careers, especially for young people, especially for a young, bright person who is always thinking, who has good thoughts, who has good ideas. These are the best people to be able to use AI as an assistant because you can pump work out and you can pump it out at a rate that you may not have been able to do without it, which is why people have assistants anyway, human assistants. People have human assistants because they need help getting a particular job done. And so now, to me, some of these AI tools are becoming assistants. So actually it's replacing assistants, or it can help your assistant do more work. It's crazy. I know it's crazy, but it's true. It really is true. I see Genesis here. She says, I also believe AI will change life as we know it, as we now know it. I do too. And see, that's the larger conversation that I said I feel like we will eventually begin having because it already is. It's allowing people to question what is real and what isn't real. You know, it's allowing you to go there. And we need to go there. We need to go there. It's questioning what people, like what you see, what the experience actually is. Particularly when it comes, and it's really going to change a lot when people get into these VR and these AR computer generated environments. This augmented reality and virtual reality is going to play with a lot of people's minds. And I don't know necessarily that I should say play with people's minds because I don't necessarily mean it that way, but it is going to expand people's minds because it's really going to ask people to ask themselves, what's really real? I can see that. I can see that happening because it's all a thought. It is. I see Carolina Raw here says AI is driven by all of our experiences and emotions that we share on social media. Absolutely. I mean, there has to be information in there in the algorithm so that it has something to draw from. That's what this whole social media explosion has really been about. It's been gathering information. Not only has information been put into it, but we have put our social interactive information in there. And it sees how we communicate, how we talk, how we express ourselves, things that we respond to, things that we're interested in. You're right. I hear you, Malik. Definitely. I see what you say. Genesis says here, Elon has AI wives and husbands. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, they're making sex robots, people. They are. So that gamer nerd guy who lived in the basement and was always there and have no real people skills, that introvert, now they can be immersed into a virtual reality, and then they can also have a sex robot. Why would they ever leave their mom's basement? Why would they? I don't know. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Voodoo says, this isn't even me commenting. It's AI. Listen, it very well could be. I got to tell you. And for all you know, this might not even be me right now talking. Because guess what? You don't see me. You see a picture and you see a talk bubble moving. But is it me? Is this me? Do you know? This is how things can be done. It can be. You got to know. But you'll know it's me because, trust me, I'm going to mess up something. I'm going to misread something. Something that's going to, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're going to know that. Having real people skills in our non-perfections are going to be things that we can draw upon to realize that, hey, this is a real person. Carolina Raw, he said, this is Malik, by the way. You said you don't watch on YouTube, so here I am. You know what, man? Respect. I knew it was you. I see you there. I see you and Buddha Rat in the little corner there on the picture. I knew it was my brother. And I'm glad you were watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. I needed it. I need folks to understand that the YouTube algorithm for content creators, for podcasters, it really does make a difference. It does. And I got my people, I got y'all who follow me on Facebook. I love you because you allow me to have this conversation that we get in here and we talk to each other. But I want to increase my algorithm too. I do. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Got Voodoo here. He said, AI can't fix my credit score. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? It might be able to, because it might be able to give you some tips and help you out and make you figure out how you can improve your credit score. So don't say that. Don't say that. Go and ask. Type in Chat GPT and ask for some tips in improving your credit score. Do that. Genesis here, she says, AI is social media on fennel. Oh my gosh. Y'all cracking me up here. Social media is toxic, harmful, and helpful. So AI will take us so far from reality, and that's what bothers me. All I can say is you got a point. You got a point. It is toxic. It can be toxic, I should say. It can be harmful, but it is also helpful. And a lot of these AI tools are also helpful. We gotta be honest with that. Just like everything that has its positives and has its negatives, we got to realize that there's some things that we've been using and we weren't complaining about it. Nobody complained about being able to use maps and navigation. Not many people were complaining about face recognition when you could unlock your phone and different things. And nobody had a problem with, well, I don't know, maybe we did. We were having some problems with the autocorrect and text editors, but we got used to it, right? So I don't know, manufacturing robots. we've gotten used to it. We've seen like a lot of industries go down, but we've gotten used to it. We know that that's a part of artificial intelligence. We don't like it necessarily when we have to do self-checkout, but we've gotten used to it and we'll continue to get used to it. I see Malik here. He says, social media has made us not want to ensure the human connection. A real woman has to be pleased. AI, one will be programmed to make you happy. Wow. You're right. People, with what I see, and you guys can tell me if you agree with this, but all of this technology, it is good. It has, just like Genesis says, it can be toxic, but it can also be helpful. So there's a lot that we have gained. But I also feel like now that we've gotten here and we continue to forge more into technology, people skills are going to be the new thing. Maybe not most immediately, but to be able to have people skills is going to be almost like a superpower. People who know how to deal with people, people who know how to talk to people. That's going to be a superpower because everybody's so used to the automatic and automation type of thing. I don't know. Voodoo said, this is the first coming of iRobot with Will Smith. Absolutely. I see it. I see it. Keep Your Faith with Tori. She said, YouTube is where it's at. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I agree with you. Malik says, I can tell you how, though. Tell me. Talk to me. Mary Fonda Hines says, I will look for you on YouTube also. Well, I appreciate you. I'm very easy to find, Mary. I am. If you see that little ticker scrolling across the screen at the bottom there, it says Noontime My Time Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe to at MsTonya TV on YouTube. That's where I'm at, MsTonya TV. I'm very easy to find. Very easy to find. All right. I see Malik here. He says, social media has made us not want to. Okay, I've read that. It's made us not want to ensure human connection. And you're right. You're absolutely right. A real woman has to be pleased. AI will be programmed to please you. And that's crazy. But you're right. I see Voodoo here. He says, AI has been cooking Genesis food at Culture for the last 3 months. Delicious. You know what? Genesis, I'm sorry I read that. I'm sorry I read that because I know AI didn't make what I like. It didn't. You the Faithful Taurus says, I miss Old Faithful, the encyclopedia. Girl, when the last time you seen an encyclopedia? I know that's been, let me see, it had to be over 30 years ago. When is the last time you saw an encyclopedia? Wow, 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 wow. Tori also says, Malik, that's facts. She's agreeing with you. She's agreeing with you. You made that comment talking about, we got to have that human connection. But people aren't, those basement guys, I don't know if they're ever going to come out. I really don't know. Mary says, the black woman is responsible for modern day GPS. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give us her name. Give her a name. It kind of slipped my mind here at the moment because I'm reading through these comments here. Keep the Faithful Taurus says, it's how people choose to use it. Like the past couple of days, I see people throwing shade and it's not cool. Now, what you talking about? How they throwing shade? Throwing shade in respect to what exactly? Help me understand because, how I feel. I use AI pretty much on a daily basis. I really do. And particularly when it comes to writing out my outline for the podcast each day, I want to have something that I can look back and say, okay, well, did I cover this? Just have it in front of me so that I make sure that I get some of those key points of things that I want to talk about in the conversation, because typically you guys come in here and you start chatting and you really guide the conversation. But I want to make sure that we hit some of the things that I want to talk about as well, and that I think will guide our conversation. So I use it on a daily basis. I do. And now, believe it or not, even if I wish I could get AI to help me stop knocking things over on my desk, but also it's starting to get into the field that I really like as a content creator. And I've got me a little editing assistant now. There are actually AI editors out here. And let me tell you something. If you don't know about it, you guys got to go online if you're a content creator and go through some of those and see what you like, because it's changing the game. It's changing the game a whole lot for me, because where I've had editors and different assistants, I got to be honest, it's pumping out some stuff quicker than some of my editors. It really is. And it definitely pumps out some stuff quicker than I typically would. So I like it. I like it. I see Voodoo here. He says, so I can build a perfect woman for me? Like Build-A-Bear? That's what it seems like. That's exactly what it seems like. Got Les Eccles here. He says, social media is not toxic. AI is not toxic. But the human beings who use it have toxic human tendencies, and therein lies our problem. Very well said. Very well said. I like that, Les. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit. People need to read that. In fact, I'm going to read it again. Social media is not toxic. AI is not toxic. But the human beings who use it have toxic human tendencies. And there lies our problem. That's the problem, guys. It's the people using it. It cannot be toxic without you. You have to have that toxic tendency. That's really what it is. You dig? Because like I said, I use it every day. I use some in fact, I can't just say all of us are using some parts of artificial intelligence every day. We are. Maybe you just don't realize it. Maybe you're just not accepting it. Now, there are going to be risks for the same reason that Les says here. There will be some risk because there are people who just do not have good intentions. They don't. There's going to be ethical concerns. We know that AI raises a lot of ethical questions as it relates to privacy, bias, and accountability, because it's collecting a lot of information and taking a lot of personal data. So that concerns a lot of people, and it can be misused. So there's some things we got to think about. There's some things that got to be worked out. Some kinks got to be worked out. How they're going to do it, I'm not sure. I have no idea. I'm telling you. Malik says, Voodoo, AI can tell you how to improve your credit. Absolutely, it can. I told him that. Genesis says, Voodoo child, I will not give AI your gift. AI has no personality. You're right. You've got to be in there. It's the person behind it. I see Malik here. He says, nah, not the collection of encyclopedias. Most black folks didn't have all the letters. Oh my goodness. How could you not have the full volume? I didn't even know you could not have the full volume. What happened? Did you let somebody borrow a volume and you didn't get it back? I don't know. I thought they were sold in sets. We're talking about the encyclopedias, but you sure don't need encyclopedias anymore. I tell you that. Keep the faith with Tori here. She says, people make posts with subliminal messages, throwing shots at people. They do. People are always going to do that because that's the people. Do you think AI might throw some, there could be some people who just, maybe they might just have AI do a whole bunch of subliminals for them and they just crank them out every day? I don't know. It's crazy. We got Malik here with Carolina Raw. He says social media and AI are double-edged swords. In the right hands, get tools. Wrong hands, trouble. That's really what it is, guys. And that's what it comes down to. We got Voodoo here. He says we need some new initials for artificial intelligence. Allen Iverson has nothing to do with this. You know what? I'm gonna stop reading. I'm gonna stop reading Voodoo comments. He got me laughing so much. Listen, we got it, but I don't know what else we would call it. Keep the Faith with Tori says, when it comes to social media being toxic, is what I'm referring to. Okay, I got you. I got you. Malik here says, just like everything, it can be good or it can be bad. And that is the issue. It can be good and it can be bad. That's where all of those ethical concerns come up. That's where it is for me. And then there's also job, I was going to say replacement. I should say displacement, because a lot of people are going to lose work. AI has the potential to replace certain jobs. So we're going to have a lot of unemployment concerns, economic inequality. As AI systems become more sophisticated, tasks that are traditionally performed by humans, they're going to become automated. They are, and that's going to require a shift in the workplace and work skills and in different job roles. So I feel like everybody got to get ready for this. It's really going to be essential for people to prepare for these changes. People are going to have to think about different ways of educating themselves and training themselves so that there's a smooth transaction. Because AI really is a good tool, in great hands. Like I said, people who are just very, very bright, people who have incredible ideas, they're going to be the best people to use AI because they're going to be more efficient. AI's, it got intelligence in it, artificial intelligence, but you got to have some real intelligence to get some real benefits out of it. You really do. So I feel like while there are going to be a whole lot of jobs that are going to be replaced, there's going to be a lot of displacement. Well, there's going to be new work and new jobs coming in too, because they're going to need people who know how to use AI. There are going to be people who are going to get in positions, and they're going to get it because they're really efficient at using it. You may not have to have particular educational backgrounds or degrees or certifications, because if you know how to use AI well, you can get the job done. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. And it makes a whole lot of sense to me. It really does. All right. We got the people still in here with the comments. Yes, we do. I see Malik here. He says, everyone is quitting their jobs anyway, making room for the basement people empower themselves. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. With everyone quitting their jobs, and I'm hearing that a lot, with everyone quitting their jobs, what are people doing for money? How are people surviving? What are they doing to upkeep themselves? I'm curious. I don't really know too many people who have quit their jobs. Not immediately around me, but I hear it. I hear it a lot. So I'm just curious, what are they doing? Because if people are wanting to stay home, what are they doing while they're staying at home? I see Voodoo here says, AI will never replace human creativity. It is merely a seasoning to enhance. Oh yeah, man. You hit that on the head, that nail on the head for me. I agree with that. And that's how I feel. I feel that it allows a person who is extremely creative to be a little bit more productive and efficient. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I like I said, it helps me a lot. When I choose whatever discussion I'd like to have on the podcast, I can have I can get an outline generated for me. So I almost kind of, because I don't necessarily have a particular, I wanted to say, it's not a script. It's more of an outline for me. I know what key points I want to get in here. And when I start talking to you guys, the reason why that outline becomes so important is because I get in here, I start talking, I start reading your comments, we get engaged. And if Voodoo is in the stream, he's going to make us laugh a little bit and we engage. And so there might be something that I forget. There might be something that I forget to bring up or a point that I wanted to make. But if I got that in front of me, then great. Now you can say, well, Tonya, you can write that yourself. Yeah, I can and I do. Because I still have to put this information in. And then I still have to make it me, you know? So what I want to ask you guys, like, what parts of the new technology and some of this new AI have you guys been using that you like? And how has it been working for you? Anybody been using ChatGPT? How does it, I know Malik, you talked about writing a script. How did you feel about it? Let us know, because if you wrote a script, I do know that you still had to do some work with it. That's just how it goes. I see Malik says, Voodoo AI is writing rap bars based on artist style. It is way more vicious than we think. Yeah, I heard there was a song that was made with artificial intelligence. They made a Drake song. I didn't hear it, but I heard a lot of people talking about it. So it's getting, I don't want to say out of control, but it's making people pay attention. I should say that. I see Genesis here. She says, I have from home jobs, 2 and 3 of them, but they have leisure in those 2 jobs to move around and make money while going to school. Missy, I know even older, including myself, went back to school. With that adding income and a business while paying for it from home. Okay. I got you. So basically what she's saying is, they have home jobs. Respect. So people are quitting their jobs in respect to actually going into the office. People are opting for at-home jobs. And we went through a whole pandemic, and I think that changed a lot of ways that people view work and how we can work. So I know that had a lot to do with it. And I imagine people are continuing to do that. All right, so we got Malik here responding about how he liked the script that he used AI with. He says, I loved it. It came up with a skeleton script, and yes, I had to add spices to make it truly me and palatable according to my taste. But it was dope for me. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I see it being as a tool, and pretty much it's an assistant for a creative person. It really is. So that really became like your assistant. I know what you mean here. Voodoo says AI can't perform and hit the stage for them, though. It can't. It really can't. But what virtual reality and augmented reality can do is put you in a space to see a concert. And it could be a hologram. And you could be getting the music, and you could be right there immersed into that particular event. But I do agree with you. And I know that there will be those type of things, Malik says, walking dogs, DoorDash, Grubhub, box trucks, medical supply delivery. There's a plethora of ways to get it on your own. Yeah, that's how people are making their money. That's how they're quitting their jobs. So people are basically taking like what we used to call side hustles, and they're working from home, and they've got them, they got their little hustles on the side, or those hustles not necessarily, I guess they're not hustles anymore, because people are just operating them as that is what they do. And I can dig that. anybody who wants to take back a little bit of their time, I'm here for it. Believe me. Les says, what people, Tori, AI wants to know. All right, y'all. Y'all got me cracking up here. Buddha says that is true about the virtual reality performing. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen in performing. It's going to happen in the sports world. Did you guys just see that new headset that Apple released this week? I mean, it looked pretty impressive. I don't know necessarily that I would want that, or at least that's not where I am right now, but I can see why a lot of people would. And you know how Apple people are. Once you're in the ecosystem, you know, it's something. Now it's pretty expensive. They came out with it and it's like about $3,500, but a lot of the times, and a lot of Apple people, they don't really care too much about the price points. And somehow I feel like Apple will get with some service provider and they themselves, they'll work out some type of payment plan and people are going to get on it. So they're not even going to worry about that price, but it's very, very impressive. You guys look up the new Apple headset that came out a couple days ago. I forget what they're calling it, but look it up. You're going to be mesmerized. I was. Malik says Pac and Biggie already had concerts. Exactly. It's going down, y'all. Genesis said, already booking in AI, MsTonya, $100K, and he was in his living room with a headset. Okay. All right. Paid $20K for the outfit for the concert he did. Wow. That's how it's going down, guys. Artificial intelligence is here. For people who say they don't like it, well, it was a whole lot of people who didn't like the computer. It was a whole lot of people who were afraid to use a computer. Like the computer scared them. They didn't want to get on it. Oh, I don't know how to use that. They were afraid they were going to mess something up. Listen, there were people who didn't like the internet, but they always on it. And these things that we call phones, I don't know why we call them phones, because they're not phones. I don't know. I feel like we should have immediately called that something else, because it really isn't. It's a lot of things. There's so much that you do with that device. There's no reason we should be calling it a phone, because it's not. It's a mini computer. It is. There's so much that we do with it. But anyway, AI is here to stay, guys. Artificial intelligence offers us a whole lot of opportunities for innovation, a whole lot of opportunities for progress in various ways. Now, I'm not going to be in denial here. I know it's crucial for us to address the risks, and there are some. And we do have to make sure that we're going to be responsible in the development of it. We got to be a little like the people who are responsible for the development. They need to be a little bit more transparent, especially when it comes to the ethical guidelines. We need to have some clear ethical guidelines. I think that's necessary, because that's going to ensure that AI is deployed in a manner that really benefits our society on a whole. So that's what we got to do. But just know that AI is not going anywhere. It's here. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. And we can continue this conversation at another time, because our time here today, our time here is up. Lunchtime is over. If it was like the Fred Flintstone days, the whistle would have been blown. It's time to get back to work. It really is. It really is. But what I want you guys to do, and what I always do, before we go back, let's do a little quick breath work. And then let's get back in there and let's enjoy our day. Make it a good day. All right? Love yourself. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Well, don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. All right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.